In 1967, Southwest set out to be the most loved, most efficient, and most profitable airline, and they've done just that for the most part. However, they've run into inevitable things that they can capitalize on to continue being most profitable. They started out as a very short point to point flight airline, with that being very low cost, but at the same time, very bare minimum. No food on the planes, like they wouldn't serve it. They would have no seating that was assigned. At the beginning, there wasn't even two different types of seating. Everyone had the same seats. You kind of just got on, landed up, down. As simple as it could possibly be is what they wanted to do. And they've built a very good, not fan base, but customer base, and have had good customer retention. And if people are interested in that, they have found their niche in those types of people. However, with the ever-changing world, of course, they're going to run into some things, especially the rising operational costs of more so employees, but there's not much wiggle room for taking anything away there, and they don't want to take anything away there. And so one operational cost that they could capitalize on and change now to have long-term success, they have used the same fleet of Boeing planes for a while. And so if they were, it would be a very hefty upfront cost, but if they were able to find or develop or buy a new fleet of more fuel efficient planes, that may help them in the long term, not only be environmentally friendly, but also help those rising fuel costs, because how it's going right now, it's trending that they're only going to keep going up and things like that. And of course, we want the environment to be well and do anything that we can to help that. And the expectations are changing from consumers and those employees. And so what they could also do is change their digital systems that they have to make sure that everyone that's on there, even if it doesn't matter if it's people putting bags on the plane, those checked bags, or if it's letting customers, whoever's on the plane, know exactly how long they have until they take off, till they land, how long they need to stay on the plane, anything like that, that whoever is involved in those operations can be most efficient, so that the plane gets up and down quicker, and that's truthfully, safely. And that is how that could increase the satisfaction of the consumer, that can make it more efficient for the airline. So this is Southwest market share in Southwest top 100 city pair markets. They are the top 70 before making any changes. The other carriers are the 30. However, once they get into the total domestic market, they're only 24. And other carriers have that 76%. So, although they have built kind of this empire on their short flights, very to the point, bare minimum, everything, so is everyone else. They may have been one of the first to do that, but places like JetBlue, those companies are catching on to that. So if they want to continue to be very profitable, they are going to have to diversify themselves, or there's not going to be much room to grow. And so they need to either expand into different markets, possibly doing international flights or longer haul flights. And if they did take into those more fuel efficient planes, they would be able to do that and maybe be able to break into those new markets and bring maybe a lower cost to those markets because of other things that they have done. And with them, they would probably be able to take the people who have kept coming back to them, have put trust in them and things like that for their smaller or shorter flights and things like that. But everything costs, of course. Even if they just added peanuts or stuff like that will cost. And when they cannot compensate that into their tickets, it makes it hard, because they obviously want to keep their same low cost value. And I think that if Southwest can just really maintain what they're doing perfect that and break into a new market, they definitely have room to grow there.